Welcome to Video Village, where imagination meets conversation. Keep the phones on and join the discussion. Yes, that means you on the bus. So unlock your mind and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Video Village. I am your host Connor, and today, as always, I am joined by my great co-host Wayne
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
and our producer Dave.
Well, how's things?
Great energy, loving it.
That's coffee.
Coffee. This week we are going back to a topic we've talked about before, and that is the box office, the place where movies are rated and ranked for how well they're doing in terms of sales and stuff. So before we jump into what's currently on the box office, Wayne is going to give us a quick recap of what was on the last box office top 10. Wayne?
So the last time we did this was back around June. We did the kind of mid-year breakdown just to see what 2024 was offering us at that point. And just as a quick reminder, the top 10 at that time was, starting at the bottom, and number 10 was If, John Krasinski new Imaginary Friends movie. And Bob Marley One Love was at 9. We had Ghostbusters Frozen Empire at 8. The Garfield movie was in at 7. Bad Boys Ride or Die was in at 6. Inside Out 2, 5 days after being released, was in at number 5. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was at number 4. Kung Fu Panda 4 was at number 3. Godzilla Kong was at number 2. And Dune Part 2 was killing it miles above everyone else at number 1. So that's where we were about halfway through the year.
Yes, that has changed drastically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the top 6 movies of there are still hanging strong in the 10, but the bottom 4 have quickly been dismantled, and 4 new additions have joined the top 10 list. So will we just go through what the top 10 is as of now, as of the beginning of November, 2 months to go. There will be some contenders coming, but the top 10 we have now is likely to be pretty close to what it's going to be at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's run it through.
There
So-
definitely is some big contenders coming, though, isn't there?
There is big contenders coming, but you've seen before with these winter movies that sometimes they just don't hit. I expect at least one of them to make the top 10, but it could only be one. You just don't know.
But sure, I always think of it like November on is like Oscar season, is when people are starting to like pump out the movies that are going to be in the Oscars just so they'll be more remembered when the Oscars actually come about.
That's it, yeah, but they rarely make money, those movies. They put them out at that time because they want them to be talked about at that time when the award season is kicking off. But oftentimes they don't really get that lot of money in the box office. They're more critically acclaimed, in that kind of way.
Yeah, they make more money on the DVD sales and stuff or rental and whatever
Yeah.
afterward. When this one went big in the Oscars, I must see it. Like,
A big example of that is like the Shawshank Redemption. It makes no money when it's released. No one even knows what this movie is. But it's in the years after that when the people are watching on DVD and it becomes this classic. They're like, have you seen this movie that came out 5 years ago? Then it became a thing and widely known as the greatest movie of all time by a lot of people.
so weird to think about that. Shawshank Redemption did awful in the box office. Well, not awful, but like did poorly in the box office.
Yeah, people
And,
weren't going to see it. It just wasn't on people's radar at the time.
That's
But yeah,
nuts.
it is crazy, yeah.
That's so crazy.
But
Yeah.
Anyway, the top 10 as of now for 2024.
Yeah.
So in at number 10 is Twisters, the
Love it.
reboot
Yeah.
remake of the 90s
That was
classic.
Such a great movie. Loved it.
Yeah,
It's
such
so
a
good.
fun experience. Real throwback to that kind of disaster movie from the 90s
Yeah.
and 2000s. Yeah.
They did it very, very well. Very well.
In at number 9 then is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Another, I suppose, reboot or rebooting a series, bringing a new set of characters to it, a new time in the world, exploring how the apes are just dominating the world and how they're living with barely a memory of humans. So I really liked that. I thought it was a real cool addition to the franchise.
Bad Boys.
Well, I was thinking
What?
about Planet of the Apes, but Bad Boys is at number 8. Bad Boys Ride or Die is at number 8. And very similar
I don't
to
know
Planet of the
why.
Apes.
I just heard reboot and I was like, oh, he's gone on to. I wouldn't say, is it a like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? Is it a reboot or is it still just a continuation of?
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
The
It's a
story, like-
sequel to the old films, but again, it's rebooting the franchise with new characters and new setup. Do you know, that
Right,
kind
I
of
gotcha.
way? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of what I
Yeah.
mean.
yeah.
It is a reboot of a franchise. Like,
To be fair, okay,
Yeah,
fair.
Do you know, they finished Caesar's story with the War of the Planet of the Apes, and that could have been the end of it. We didn't need more. But I'm open to this idea of, you know, seeing how they do like 200 years after Caesar and how these apes are living now, and you know the rules that he kind of set in place, how they're being interpreted by this new generation, and you know I think it's
Yeah.
really interesting. You know,
yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't want more, to be honest, and until I saw the movie, I was like, oh no, okay, no.
yeah,
I
I'm
could
on
do two
board
more
with
of
this
these,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, we could do it.
Okay, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was so on the fence about that movie coming out because
Yeah.
that trilogy was unbelievable. And I really thought, oh no, they're just going to milk the franchise to death now and then ruin it all, but they didn't, and I was really happy about that.
No, they did it right. They found a place to actually put a new story that's something different to what we've seen before, but still something interesting, and you know, for the characters for us to get behind, and building a franchise of movies to come. You know what it looks like. You know, there's so much more stories that they can probably tell there. So it's exciting for that franchise.
Yeah, it's doing well.
But moving on.
I spoiled it.
Yeah, number
Sorry.
8 in the box office at the moment is Bad Boys Ride or Die. That's the 4th film in this series. I think these movies are doing really well. The 2 new ones are probably better than the older ones. I think they've really found their style, their real action comedy niche. They found it with those last 2 movies.
I did not like the third one.
I liked them. Yeah, I think they're fun.
In comparison to the other ones, I thought the other ones were funnier and it just felt fresher than the third.
There's
Fourth
probably a
isn't
lot of
bad, like-
people. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that feel that way. But yeah, the 4th one I thought was really good with the throwback to the iconic scene in the second movie is the kid coming to the house to take out Martin Lawrence's daughter, and then Will Smith and him come up and start interrogate him. You know, like that's probably the most iconic scene from the whole series. And where they
Yeah.
brought that character Reggie back in the 4th one, where he's now married to the daughter, but he's still trying to impress the 2 boys. You know, he still looks up to them, and anytime they give him any
Yeah.
criticism, he's like, "Damn it, I got to do better." And it culminates in a fantastic scene towards the end of the movie where he really comes in clutch. So
Yeah, to be fair.
so yeah, I
That was
really
a
like
nice
those
full
movies.
circle.
I think they're doing well.
Yeah.
Moving on, number 7 at the moment in the box office is another sequel. 30 years in the making. It's Beetlejuice.
30 years. Crazy.
Yeah.
Not
and another
that
movie.
they were working for 30 years straight, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it took them that time to make it. That's how much thought has gone into this movie. But no, it's a perfect sequel to Beetlejuice. It probably works better being 30 years old because a direct follow up with the same characters like a year or 2 later you're just telling the same story then again. But
Yeah.
aging them up, Winona Ryder's character, who was the teenager back then, is now a single mother. I think that adds a whole different element to the story where you can tell something new with the same character, bringing in her daughter Jenna Ortega. It just felt really fresh. It wasn't the sequel you'd expect from Beetlejuice, but it was the one we probably needed in a way.
It's like that line from Batman. I'm not the hero. I'm not the hero the city needs. I'm the one it deserves.
Exactly. That's what Beetlejuice is basically Batman. Like Tim Burton did them both. What can we say?
He did, and Birdman. He's all over the shop.
Kung Fu. Oh, Michael Keaton. Yeah. So yeah, Tim Burton and Michael Keaton both did Beetlejuice and Batman. That's mad. Anyway, moving on. Godzilla, or no, sorry, Kung Fu Panda is at number 6. Kung Fu Panda 4 is sitting at number 6.
That was a good one.
It was, yeah, a fine sequel. I don't think it did anything amazing, but it did exactly what I needed to do to claim its spot in the top 10.
It feels like it's passing off the torch. Like it kind of felt like Jack Black was kind of coming to the end of his time with Kung Fu Panda, and like they're just trying to set up Awakafina's character for the next, if they're going to do it next.
They probably will. It's hard to see them ending that franchise. They're probably just going to keep throwing them out.
I mean, it had a Netflix TV series as well.
Yeah.
And I think that just completely was overlooked when they did this movie. I'm like, would you decide what's canon and just go with it? Stop changing canon. I hate stories changing canon. Anywho.
I think a lot of the time they just go, the movies are canon. The TV shows are just, don't worry about it.
That was always when Disney did their show. Like every time Disney had a hit movie, they're going to release an animated show. But they always contradicted it, so you never really took it seriously.
Like the, what was it? Emperor's New Groove had a TV series.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good one. It was the Timon and Pumbaa show. I remember that one really well.
Yeah. Or the penguins from Madagascar, they got a whole show dedicated to them.
Yeah.
Surely the Minions probably have a show. Well, they have their own movie, so they don't need one, but they probably have a show.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving into the top 5. So
yay!
Godzilla Kong is actually holding up pretty strong. I thought it was going to drop a lot lower than this.
I did too.
Yeah, it remained strong. Top 5. It might keep that top 5 position. Who knows? But yeah, it was a fine monster movie. The smashy bashy stuff people love to see. I'm not crazy about it, but
yeah, it was pure action. There wasn't really much more to it. It was just like
no substance to it at all. But
No.
it's what people want to see, the explosions and the fights. And
sometimes you do.
Great spectacle, but that was it.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to turn off your brain and you don't want to follow a complex story or.
That's it. It's a real popcorn movie, and you need those, don't you? You need one or two of them.
Movie. Yeah.
You do.
But moving swiftly on, number 4 in the box office was the movie that was number 1 for a very, very long time. It's Dune Part 2.
I'm surprised it's still in the top 5, to be honest.
It made so much money at the start of the year, and there was nothing else for people to go see. Everyone gravitated towards this one. People were watching the first one on whatever streaming service it was on, to catch up. Are going to watch that, and so both those movies were being watched more than new releases. Do you know what I mean? At that time of the year.
Yeah.
So it really took over.
That took over everything there for a while, didn't it? That's all people were talking about was doing this and doing that. I'm not a big Dune fan myself.
I'm not the biggest fan, but you can see why people like it because it is different. It's the best thing like that at the moment. For a new sci-fi series, there's nothing else competing with it at the moment. And the director, Denis Villeneuve, has got such a fan base at the moment with all the movies he's done with Arrival and Blade Runner, and so people are going to back him 100% anytime he releases something too.
Kind of reminds me when they did the Maze Runner series of films.
Such a great start. Then just fell off a cliff.
That's it. It had such a great momentum from the first one, and then Scorched Land or
Scorched Trials.
Scorched Trials.
That was it. Yeah.
It just it had the villain. Your man Gustavo was just coming off Breaking Bad, and he was set to be the villain in the next one. Everybody was like, "This is gonna be class." Yeah. Sorry, guys.
And then,
yeah.
But but Dune, that's another series that's gonna continue to make waves. I'd say Part 3 will probably come over the next couple of years. And I don't see the momentum dropping. I say the next one's going to make more money. Just by the marketing and stuff.
They got a massive cast as well. That always helps. I highly doubt Zendaya's not going to be coming back for that.
No, she will. The names they got, it's not even they have Josh Brolin and Rebecca Ferguson. But it's the young crowd that they got. Like Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Austin Butler. Like you got the biggest young stars of the moment all in this one franchise. You're going to get a young audience. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Dune Part 2 at number 4. Now, into the top 3, we've got Despicable Me 4 in at number 3. Not surprised that's done well, but I think it's definitely overshot where it should have been. It's not that good of a movie to be number 3 for me, but like I said, the Minions are just ultra popular.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it, yeah. I watched it.
The Minions just carry it. Like the Minions have been carrying that franchise since the first movie. Like,
and I'm kind of getting over them now at this point. It's the same stuff. They can't do anything new that's funny. Anything they do that's funny is just a repeat of what they've done before, and that's just getting old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Although they have a cult following. Like the Minions actually have a cult following. It's crazy.
Oh, there's certain people that will never not find them funny, and so those movies are always going to make money. So that's what happens. Some people love something, they're going to watch it, and they're going to throw their money at it, which is fine. Everyone is entitled to love what they want, but for me, 100%. I just think it's a bit overrated.
But it's mad to think that it's so far up this list. Do you know, you're talking as if like everybody's sick of it and there's only like a small group left. But clearly not if it did so well at the box office.
Well, as Wayne has said before, it's the kid movies do better generally. When they're big kid movies, they do better because families are taking their kids to see it, and that's kind of really a big driving force for them. Like
that's it. Like animated movies are gonna make a certain amount of money. But if you look at something like the Garfield movie, where we talked about a couple of months ago, it was in the top 10. It's dropped down ferociously now. So there's still something about the Despicable Me movies that just speak to people. Kids, they actually get on board with it. They really like it. So it's more than that. There's something more that I just can't see. But
I think it's just the massiveness of the first one. Like people are still quoting that one in memes and whatever to this day. Like, we're going to steal the moon. You know that. Like, you know what movie that's from. You know.
Yeah.
And that's just a massive driving force for
it. It became iconic immediately, didn't it? So
yeah. Plus, then if you were watching it when you were younger, and then you grew up, had kids, you're like, I'm going to show my kids this. You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Like I'm showing my kid like Toy Story and Monsters Inc. and all these ones that I watched when I was a kid. Like,
that's fair. Yeah. So there probably is a certain section of people that are maybe 21, 22 now, but they would have been really young when the first one came out. So, it's their childhood. They want to see the new one. So there's a bit of a nostalgia attached to it, I imagine.
Yeah.
When did the first one come out?
Like 2012 or something like that, I want to say.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah. Early 2010s, I'd say.
2010, yeah.
2010.
2010. 15th of October, 2010. So 14 years ago last month.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Wayne. Because like if somebody was 10 when the first one came out, like
they're 22 now or 24 now. Sorry, yeah. They're gonna go.
What year is it?
But you're like when Toy Story 3 came out, we all went and saw it.
Exactly, yeah.
We're all like 21, 22 when that one came out.
At the same time, Toy Story 3 was a shock when it came out. We're like, what? There's another one? Despicable Me 4 is like, we know it's coming. There's probably 7 more on the way as well. Like,
yeah, we're gonna get every bit of juice out of Steve Carell as we can. Like.
Exactly. But anyway, moving on from Despicable Me, we're into our top 2 of the year. The 2 movies that have made over $1 billion. Number 2 is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Loved it. Such a great movie.
No surprise.
Watched it again in a heartbeat. Like.
Marvel saving grace. It's what they desperately needed this movie to be successful like it was.
I am going to be so annoyed if they turn around and just wash, rinse, repeat. Like, okay, that one did great. Now we can go back to what we want to do, kind of thing. If Falcon or the new Captain America, New World Order, like that's gotta do good. Like that has to do otherwise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to be a sinking ship.
Yeah.
And I'm
and you can
excited
already
to see
tell.
it though. Like, see what direction they're going with it, but it's interesting. Like, you don't know if it's
I
going to be
don't
good or
trust
bad.
trailers though. Like trailers just add so much hype to it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't give you the actual nitty gritty of a film, and that's really at the end of the day what's important when you're watching a movie like those. It's like, yeah, the trailer looked cool and flashy and like showed you all these big name actors, but like if they're not doing anything substantial, like I don't really care.
Yeah, one thing that makes me nervous about it is the fact that Harrison Ford is casted. Like, he's an amazing actor when he wants to be, but it's like, but he does seem to take these big paychecks, but more particularly when he does his older characters. When he did Han Solo, it was like, yeah, everyone was excited, but he didn't care. He was there for the paychecks. Like, yeah, kill me off in the first one. I don't want to do it. And then same with
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. He came back. It was such a half-hearted effort. He wasn't into it. He was just doing it for the paycheck.
Do you think he's just setting himself up for a good retirement? He's like, okay, this is the
I
last
don't.
one,
Yeah,
and
do you
then
know
I
what I
can.
mean? Like, he knows where the money is coming from. So yeah, Marvel are going to pay me to do this. I don't need
Yeah.
to prove myself. They're just going to give me the job, which they probably did. He can go up and
that
give
man
a
does
5
not
out of 10
audition.
performance.
Yeah.
Do you know? Yeah, no, he definitely does an
Plus,
audition, but
he's getting up there in years too, like, you know. Although that being said, he was actually super good in Shrinking. That
yeah,
Apple
he
TV
was.
show.
And I feel like that was the project that he's like, I want to do this, and I'm going to, put everything into this. But when it comes to the big budget blockbuster, does he care? I don't know if he does. Like, if he gives it everything he can, it could be a really cool, iconic villain for Marvel. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
I
nervous
thought he
about it.
was really good in Blade Runner. That's a big budget movie, and I thought he brought it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's a good
I don't
show.
love
You know,
those
it's a-
movies anyway, so it's hard for me to say.
I did.
Well, yeah. Well,
maybe he's
that's
just a
good.
hit and miss actor.
Yeah, well, that's good. That gives me hope. To say, well, he was good in this one. Which I'm not saying he's bad and things. Like, he's always good. He's always average at a minimum. Do you know, I wouldn't say he's ever bad, but you can tell he doesn't care sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. But Deadpool and Wolverine, though, what a film. Like, just cracking jokes at Disney's expense, and Disney did nothing about it. Like, it was so...
Yeah, it was the
So,
movie. They needed to make that movie with that humor, but you can only do it once. You can't do that again. So
Yeah, like, I think Deadpool shouldn't... Like, if he's being brought into the MCU, he should be kind of like a Hulk type situation where they weren't allowed to make a Mark Ruffalo Hulk movie. So what they did is they gave him a story arc that spanned 3 other movies, like Ragnarok,
yeah.
the Avengers movies and stuff. I think that's how Deadpool's going to be moving forward now. It's just going to be an Avenger type character, just to kind of help fill out the roster for them a bit, because a lot of the new characters they're getting in, like the what's her name, All American Sanchez or something.
Oh, America.
I
Yeah.
have no idea who she is. So like bringing a movie forth with just her, I'll be like, okay, cool, thanks.
No, they got the whole thing wrong after Avengers Endgame, trying to set up got it all wrong. They tried to bring in too many things while still keeping some of the old ones. They should have just selected, like, these are our new main Avengers. You know, we had our base 4 or 5 from the old ones, and they remained the base the whole way through. We should do the same. Pick who your 4 are going to be, give them priority, and then let's explore other characters while we can, when we have a chance to.
They're just branching out too much, especially with their TV shows and stuff. Like, they're just kind of, spreading themselves a bit thin.
Yeah, I think maybe they're catching on to that now, because a lot of stuff's just kind of been, I think, like, nearly secretly cancelled. Not talk like Shang-Chi. The director has been moved off that movie, and I think that's probably not coming. We're not going to get Shang-Chi again. He was
That's such
probably
a
one of the better
shame.
characters, but maybe for the long run, it's a good decision. Just, okay, we have to cut something. We'll cut this. We can move with the others. If it works, I don't mind too much. But at least they're being proactive in some way.
I don't know. I like Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
No, I
thought it was a
liked it
great
too.
film.
But is it too much? They had to cut something. And maybe
Oh, yeah, there was an awful lot they could have cut. Like,
Yeah.
maybe
That freaking...
but maybe
was
the
a
ones
Thunderbolts movie.
The Thunderbolt, that's still coming, no?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they could have cancelled that instead of Shang-Chi. Like, You know, I'm not really.
Yeah, but it
I
depends
don't
on
care
what
about the B team.
It,
I want the A
depends.
team.
It depends what the plan for the future is. If that movie is going to add something that we need, then great. But we don't know until we see it, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're going to need an episode to themselves just so we can, you know,
Yeah. Oh, probably
argue
a
about
whole
Marvel.
month on MCU. Yeah. Jeez.
When New Order comes out, if it breaks top 5 in the box office, we'll do a whole episode on it. You
but
heard it here first, folks.
But yeah, that was Deadpool Wolverine, the only Marvel movie in the top 10. You know, that's kind of a shame now. They're only getting one a year. Like you used to have like 4 or 5. You know, like all of them be in the top 10.
I love the fact as well that it's an R-rated movie that's saving Disney at the moment.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, you know.
You can just see a lot of old guys in a boardroom just in silence, just like contemplating it.
Just scratching their head like, how did we get here?
Your own fault.
But anyway, that brings us to the number 1 movie at the moment, as of November, and I think it's probably safe to say this is going to be the number 1 movie of 2024. It's Inside Out 2.
Yeah. I don't think anything's going to top it. I was hoping Deadpool Wolverine would, but
it came close.
It came very close. I think it's like 300,000 odd off of actually doing it, something like that.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I'm happy.
In fairness,
I'm happy that Inside Out 2 is at the top because it's such a good movie. It's a great sequel.
It is
great to build on the characters, and the new characters added all did something really cool and clever. And again, it's just a really nice movie to be able to show children to say this is a way to express yourself, and yeah, it just does everything right.
Yeah. No, it really handles the kind of coming of age story very well, and from a unique perspective too, as well. You know, personifying your emotions is a great idea. Such a great show, like.
So yeah, that's our top 10 at the moment. Of the 10 movies we've gone through, is there any movies that you're shocked didn't remain in the top 10? Any ones that you liked the year that you think should be, or yeah?
Trying to think back, like what films were released. I'm shocked Madam Web isn't there.
Yeah, it's a huge shock.
One for me that there's a couple I think that if more people just knew about it, like it'd be up there. Like The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling, that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, that doesn't deserve 20th. Like it deserves to be up there with kind of like A Quiet Place, closer to 10.
Yeah, I think it could be in the top 10. There's the Wild Robot is the new DreamWorks movie that's doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's very, very good.
Furiosa, the new Mad Max movie, I really loved that. That's one of my favorite of the year, actually.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Like we were talking before in an earlier episode about Chris Hemsworth and how he's done nothing outside of Thor. And he's like, that man gave one of the performances of the decade in Mad Max Furiosa. It was so good.
He was unreal.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know it was him. Like, he was so just so out of his comfort zone. But he gave it everything. Like, it was so good.
Yeah. So where's that sitting now, actually?
22.
22?
Yeah. Really dropped.
Damn.
That's, people just decide we're not watching it, and then these movies just fall away into the abyss. Like, it's really, it kind of makes me feel bad sometimes. We're like, these movies, they need to be higher. But, you know, I'm only one man, guys. Can't do it on my own.
No way. You need to spend all your paychecks and just go to the film over and over and over again. Yeah. Even if you don't show up, just buy the ticket.
Let's beat the system. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. The gang beats the system.
But like talking about like movies like The Fall Guy and stuff. I was looking at the top 10. Every single movie in the top 10 is coming from a franchise or based on an already existing IP. There's no original movies in the top 10. And I was looking back. I was looking back over the years, to see how how often was this happening? When did this kind of trend start? So I was looking over like the last 30 years.
Jesus.
So back to 1994, I was looking at the top 10 box office lists. And in those top 10s, how many movies do you think were original ideas? So the way I kind of looked at it, I didn't count anything that came from a franchise that was a sequel that was based on an already existing IP. I did include some movies that were adapted from novels that weren't too popular, but I didn't obviously include like the Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or any Stephen King or John Grisham novels, like the big ones. I didn't include those, but some other ones that were adapted I did include. How many of those top 10s over the 30 years, so 300 movies, how many would you say are original?
10 to 15.
That's actually, it's actually higher than that. So I thought,
Well, it's the fact
that's
that
very
you phrased
pessimistic.
it like that certain way. We were like, oh, what is it, 2? You know? We're expecting to be.
Yeah, no, it's not ridiculously low, but it was still, when you're thinking 300 popular movies over 30 years, and it's 49.
Oh, I was literally thinking 47 in my head. I should have
Yeah.
said it.
So something
49.
yeah. And I'm just looking back going through the years. So from like the most recent one was 2023. Last year, I included Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
in a lot of these, you'll say, well, there's another reason why it kind of made money. Like, it's a Chris Nolan movie, so that in itself is almost like a franchise.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, his name makes it, and it's, you know,
I wouldn't call it a franchise.
No, it's
It
not.
is a
But
huge
but
selling point, though.
it's the same thing. It's the new
Yeah,
Chris
selling
Nolan
point.
movie. Do you know what I mean? It's almost. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? It's part of a
Yeah.
package.
100%.
But after that, so before 2023, you have to go back to 2015 to get the next one.
Oh, my God.
And it was The Martian.
I wasn't a massive fan of The Martian.
I liked it. I thought it was a good movie.
It's
It
good,
was
but
different, and but at least people were going to see it, and it wasn't another superhero movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, I think looking back, I like it more now. But I remember when it came out, I went, not Matt Damon.
what's wrong with Matt
Not
Damon?
again.
There was so much of him at that time. Do you know when you get like too burnt out and looking at the same actor, you're like, oh God.
And wasn't that was the third movie of that Hollywood had to spend ridiculous amount of money to rescue Matt Damon. It's like Saving Private Ryan,
Yeah.
Interstellar, and The Martian. And actually, speaking of Interstellar, that's the next one from 2014 that also made the top 10. Another Chris Nolan movie.
That's a fantastic movie.
Best movie ever.
Such a
It came in at number 10 in the box office 2014.
All right.
Do you know what I
Number
mean?
10.
All right.
Yeah, because all
Just
the other
squeaked
9
in.
were Avengers and whatever, like. But yeah, so that and
Only
the
10.
Martian creeped in at number 10. Oppenheimer was at 3 last year, but yeah, The Martian at 10, Interstellar at 10, and then
Interesting.
if you move back to 2013, you got another space movie, Gravity, came in at number 8 in that year. So you can see there was a bit of a theme. The space movies were doing really well at the time. So it's like culturally, it's like what's cool is going to do well also.
Did you hear they're
Wait, so in the
bringing
last 10
back?
years, there's only been 2 movies.
Yeah, yeah, that weren't franchise or sequels or something like that.
That
Yeah.
made the top 10.
Wow.
But did you know that Interstellar is getting a re-release for its 10-year anniversary?
What do you
Oh
mean?
wow! Like it's going to be
What do I
released into
mean by that?
cinemas again on its anniversary.
So its
Um,
box office standing could raise again.
Oh, it will.
oh.
It absolutely will. Yeah, it'll jump up.
I'm
there.
going to go see it again. Like, hell yeah. That film
Yeah.
in cinema, absolutely mint. Like,
Mhm.
I must figure out when that's going on.
There's a lot of people who say that that's their favorite movie. Like Interstellar is really loved. Like
Yeah.
people
Oh, it's
really
fantastic.
love that movie. Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like it. It's I wouldn't call it one of my favorites, but it'd be up there. Definitely as like a sci-fi. Like that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But
Great performance all around from like the cast and crew all together. Like it was such.
yeah,
It's just
the
start
the
to
only
finish.
the only thing that would pull me off that movie a little bit is just the simplicity of the overall theme, where it's like love is the most powerful. Just that kind of it's just hard to doing all this cool stuff, and it's because he loved her so much. It's like, okay, I like it, but there's something about it that just makes me pull away from that a little bit. So,
It's okay, Wayne. We all love you.
but you know what I mean? It just seemed a bit simple. It's like, oh, well, that's the reason that's the power.
I was just looking at the box office here, and I can see, and I'm so annoyed about this. Is a shout that Wayne gave about 2-3 weeks ago is The Substance, sitting at 52.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to be a
Absolute
big box office one, though.
But like I said,
52
nobody
though, like,
nobody
at
knows
least hit
about
the
this
30s,
movie.
like.
You know what I mean? Like I've said it to so many people, and no one has heard about it. They haven't seen. There's been no trailers being pushed. There's not a lot of marketing, which I think there should be.
I'm seeing more marketing now after I've seen the film.
That's not good
I'm
enough.
seeing it more pop up on like Reddit and TikTok and stuff like that. That's only now though. Like,
yeah,
I don't even think it's in
pushed.
cinema anymore, is it?
Should be pushed. Like Demi Moore hasn't done much recently, so it really should be pushed. Is the comeback?
I think this is a movie that's going to take off if it hits like a prominent streaming service.
Yeah,
I think that's when it's going to really take off. Like, but I don't think people are going to go out of their way to find it, or I don't think even the filmmakers have enough money to push it.
That could be it as well. Yeah. I hope
they spent all their money getting
learn
casted,
to appreciate it eventually. If it does go to Netflix or whatever. But yeah, people need to watch this movie.
100%. Yeah. So Wayne, there in my head, right? There's two big franchisee movies coming up. What's the bottom two films on the list?
On the top 10?
Yeah, so far.
Twister and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
That's right, yeah.
So the two Twister's that I'm thinking are coming up, one is Venom.
Venom's out.
Venom has already been released, yeah.
Yeah, it's not doing well at all.
Sitting there at 18 at the moment, yeah.
Oh, like 18 is still not too bad.
It's been out about 2
It's going to climb, yeah, because it's going to keep making more money, so it'll probably climb higher. But it's not going to get the top 10.
No, I don't think so.
The big one that I think is the one that has a chance of making a big hit, and is probably going to end up in the top 10 regardless, is Moana 2.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
You're thinking of Mufasa?
No, I was thinking of Gladiator.
Oh, Gladiator as well. That's another one, yeah.
Gladiator 2, yeah. Okay,
there's a few, so.
Yeah, so Gladiator and Moana probably will hit it. Mufasa might just have too much to compete with at the time. Like, if it was the only thing, people will go see it, but people are probably going to bring their kids to Moana instead, and people who want an action movie aren't going to see Mufasa, they're going to see a Gladiator, so yeah, it could struggle there.
Yeah.
That's a great point, because the two selling sides for the Mufasa film has better competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it could struggle. People might be nostalgic for The Lion King. People just love that story, so they might go to it. It will get a certain audience, but I think
it depends on how much of a sour taste the remake gave them.
One of the highest gross movies of all time, so it didn't leave that much of a sour taste.
Oh, you're talking to the wrong person there on that one.
I think a lot of people went to see it, but I don't think
not many people enjoyed it.
Leaving it.
It was kind of bittersweet. It was bittersweet, but like I remember watching it in the cinema, and it was always what I wanted. So I was like, that is what I got. What I wanted. They did all the songs, seen all the characters in a more live actiony way. But the things they added, I was like, that was not necessary. And the emotionless faces was just hard to watch.
Apparently, that's what they changed with Mufasa, was they made the animals more expressive.
That will add a whole lot.
And less of a straight up documentary, wildlife documentary kind of vibe to it. Like if you do side by side comparisons of the stills that come out, they've toned it down and made it a little less realistic, and I think they might actually hit like a really nice balance with Mufasa.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I'm going to see it just because I'm curious of like the visual
I
effects and things.
definitely will watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just back on looking at the kind of last 30-year history of the top 10. You've got to go back all the way. So what year are we? 1998 for the last or kind of original idea to be number one at the box office. You got any idea what that might have been?
1998.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
1998.
Oh, I was close.
Ah.
Matrix 99.
Original film. 1998.
If you were around in 98, you didn't want to miss it. Hint, hint.
Didn't want to miss it.
Didn't want to miss a thing.
Armageddon.
Yeah,
Armageddon.
That was a great hint.
I heard something hilarious there the other day that NASA use Armageddon to play during their introduction for new employees, and the new employees have to find as many mistakes as they can from the film Armageddon. Yeah, there's something like 169 inaccuracies in comparison to real space astronauts there. Armageddon. Was it basketball around then as well?
I think so.
That wasn't Gross and High.
No.
That was original.
That's original.
Definitely original. 1998, yeah.
Oh, sure. Before we go anywhere, there's one more thing I want to do. You might be wondering why I sent you both a message earlier and I asked you to give me a genre of film.
Right, exercise me whole.
I didn't ask questions.
So you both gave me a certain genre, and whatever genre you gave me, I'm going to give that to the other person and ask them to give me the highest grossing movies from that genre. So,
oh no!
So Dave, you gave me the cyberpunk genre. Connor, take it away.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner is not here.
What? I would
But
have said
it should
that too.
be.
Should it be?
I guess, yeah, I think it might be my... Oh, hang on, no, it is there. I didn't see it. It is there. It's in the top 10.
Where is it?
Blade Runner 2049. It's sitting at number 4. Yeah, number 4. Not the original Blade Runner, though. Blade Runner 2049.
Okay, and the original Blade Runner as well. Cyberpunky movies. Would Total Recall be one? That Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that they remade with Colin Farrell.
Total Recall? I don't have it here. No. It's not on my list.
And cyberpunk, not sci-fi, kind of. So
cyberpunk, yeah. So not sci-fi in general. I think the definition is low life, high technology.
I don't know. Time Machine.
What?
Time?
The movie with Samantha Mumba.
What?
What?
Isn't that,
what is happening
isn't that
here?
a thing? Remember that?
I don't know. It was kind of steampunky kind of thing. He was like in the 30s and the 40s or 50s. He made a time machine, and then he went into the future.
Yeah, The Time Machine. Are we talking about the same movie?
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2002 sci-fi adventure with Guy Pearson.
Yeah, yes.
Guy Pearce. I do not have any more coming to my head.
Okay, so what
What
have
about
you
that?
said?
Alita.
Alita Battle Angel is at number
Yeah.
8. Yeah.
What else is sci-fi?
And
What
I
else
will
is-
I will say I was looking through my list just to double check, and Blade Runner is not in the top. I was just confirmed I hadn't left it out. I thought it would be up the top, but no, I was right. It's not there.
Is
Didn't
there any
go.
like MCU or like Star Wars?
No. So you're looking at all their own things. There's a couple of movies in a series here as well. So if you say one, you'll get them all. But
What was that? Scarlett Johansson one. Ghost in a Shell.
no, it's not there.
No.
I'd say go big franchise first. There's 2 massive ones there.
Oh,
So what have you said already? You know, you guessed Blade Runner and Total Recall. They're not there.
Total Recall.
Yeah, you haven't said any of the 2 big ones, I don't think.
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element is not there.
Oh my god! I hate you, Dave. This is the worst topic of all time. God!
It'll be my turn in a minute, so I'm not.
I give you an easy one. You.
Oh.
Why do you think I'm leaving him to last, Connor?
Oh my god! Just to watch me struggle.
Go big franchise. Think massive
I
actor.
know Terminator.
Terminator. That wasn't the one I was thinking of, but yeah, Terminator is there. Terminator 2
Okay.
Judgment Day is number 3. Terminator 3 Rise of Machines is 5. Terminator Genesis is number 6. Terminator Salvation is number 10. So you're after
Okay.
knocking off half the list there. You have 5 out of 10.
What about that? Oh crap! The light up bike movie. Tron.
Tron Legacy number 9.
No, not Legacy. The original.
Not the Legacy. The original is not there. Well, I'm trying to help you out here.
What about would Dredd? Sylvester Stallone. Judge Dredd.
No, that's not here. You're basically missing your 4 films, but 3 of them are from one franchise, and you got 1 other movie. The top 2 as well, most grossing.
Didn't Eddie Murphy do one, or am I thinking of someone else?
Definitely not Eddie Murphy.
Who there was? Oh crap! What's the guy's name? Oh, was it Demolition Man?
No, that's not it. Like it's much
Great movie, though.
bigger. Yeah, I think it was the franchise you're looking for has actually been mentioned already. Dave mentioned it not too long ago.
I
I
did.
don't remember.
You did.
It's not a Tom Cruise movie, is it?
Not Tom Cruise, more Keanu Reevesy.
Matrix.
The Matrix. Matrix Reloaded is at number 1. The Matrix is at number 4. The Matrix Revolution's at number 7. Yeah, it's definitely cyberpunky. It fits well.
Okay.
I didn't make it up, but it's there.
How is Total Recall not there?
Maybe it just didn't gross enough. You're missing one more. The number 2 movie. It came out in the 2010s, directed by Steven Spielberg, based on a book that Dave likes. Now you're dying to say it, Dave.
A movie that Dave like, or
But he likes the book
Oh,
for
right,
sure.
yeah. I had to look down at my books. I was like, what's in there?
You know what it
Okay,
is,
I
no?
have it. I know now.
a book that you like.
Think pop culture.
And a lot of
Ready
pop
Player
culture.
One.
Yeah.
There you go. Congratulations.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the top
no.
10 there, you got Matrix Reloaded, Ready Player One, Terminator 2, The Matrix, Terminator 3, Terminator Genesis, The Matrix Revolutions, Alita Battle Angel, Tron Legacy, and Terminator Salvation. Closing it off.
Right.
So, Dave, do you
God,
want to
that
hear
was-
what category Connor sent me?
Yeah.
So Connor sent me the category of dark comedies.
Oh,
But
okay.
to make this a little easier for you, because most of them were coming from like the 80s and stuff, I don't think you're going to actually know a lot of them. So I made this 21st century only.
Okay. Highest grossing, is it? Like
Yeah.
box office.
And your definition of what a dark comedy is might not correlate here, but I'll try and steer you in the right direction.
Okay. Modern dark comedies.
Yeah. High grossing ones, so.
I'm drawing a blank now. Can't even think
Yeah, take that. Kick him while he's down.
Dark
You can't-
comedies.
Yeah, you can't think of anything at all.
I can't think of anything at all but obscure ones.
Yeah, say something to get your mind rolling.
Okay. Let's see. Black Sheep.
It's not there. Shock.
Dog Soldiers. What we did in the shadows. What we do in the shadows or something.
What we do in the shadows is not there. But I think
Okay.
you might be getting closer.
I'm getting more mainstream.
Yeah.
Dark comedies. Hunt for the Wilder People.
No,
God damn it.
it's not there.
Am I far off with these guesses?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's
Oh,
probably
God.
the best answer. I could be nice and say, no, you're doing really well, but no. I think the most helpful thing here is to say, yeah, you're far off.
I'm very far off.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be tough, like, because this dark comedy, it kind of casts a wide web, doesn't it? So it covers a lot. I would say try and find stories where the main character does something terrible, but the overall movie is a comedy, but where you're looking at characters that do bad things.
The Hangover.
That's not there. No, that's not a dark comedy. They're because they're trying to survive. If you look at it that way, they're trying to get out of a bad situation. The characters in these movies are probably trying to put a bad situation on someone else, or maybe don't care about people. Think of what would you call a movie about a group of work colleagues that don't like their boss and maybe decide they're going to kill him.
Horrible Bosses.
Number one, Dave. Congratulations.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the highest grossing one. So there, here might put you on a direction there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes a
That'd
little
be
more
kinda
sense.
Dark
now.
comedy.
What?
That'd be kind of dark comedy.
Yeah, it's the number one highest grossing dark comedy. It's about a group of people that want to kill someone. You know, that's that's what dark comedy is.
Fair.
I suppose, yeah. I'm struggling here.
I think I have one.
Go on, shout it out there, Connor. Help him out.
Bad Santa?
Bad Santa is number 3.
Oh.
There you go.
That's all I got.
Number 7 was Horrible Bosses 2. Just
Okay. Fair.
Okay. Well, then, at least, Connor, you're like, you know, you're not have a million of them in your head. Like, that gives me some confidence. But I haven't got a single
Yeah.
one here now. Like,
I kind of feel bad about cursing you out about Cyberpunk. Like, this is a lot harder than Cyberpunk.
Dave, number 2 is a Coen Brothers movie.
A Coen Brothers movie. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You have one shot. If you don't get it right the first time, I'm going to tell you what it is.
Ooh, that's mean.
Fargo.
It's Burn After Reading.
Ah!
Number 5 is a Wes Anderson movie. Same rules apply.
I think I have it. But I'll let Dave sit in torment.
Come on, Dave. Just go with your gut.
Is the Grand Budapest Hotel?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah! That's what I was
like,
thinking.
That's surely not a dark comedy. I
It's
would
when you
have
think
assumed
about
that they were regular comedies. Like, you know.
Nothing
No.
regular about a Wes Anderson film.
well, yeah, no, when your
Yeah.
main character is trying to do something like a criminal, like that's automatically a dark comedy. I think that's
Yeah.
the general rule.
When the antagonist is doing protagonist is doing very
Shady,
shady
stuff.
things.
Yeah. But yeah, you got 1 to 3. Number 4. I don't know if you'll get this one, but I'll just give it to you.
No,
Death at a Funeral?
Give us a clue.
What you say, Connor?
Death at a Funeral?
Number 8.
Oh,
Ah!
nice.
I mean, that's shady as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is it the American one or the
I think the
US?
American one, yeah, the US one.
or UK one? Okay.
No, I think the American one made more money.
Yeah.
The other one's
Peter
better. but-
Dinklage.
Yeah.
Can't complain. I like Peter Dinklage.
I'm going to give you number 4 because I don't think you'll guess it. It's the Stepford Wives.
Okay, yeah.
Don't
fair
think
enough.
I've
Um,
seen that one, to be fair.
But the number 6 is a recent movie.
Recent movie.
Directed by the same director of In Bruges and The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, crap. Who's the director?
Martin McDonagh.
Martin McDonagh. Yeah.
The Guard?
I'm going to let you off because his brother directed The Guard, so that won't count. So that was John. That wasn't Martin.
Whoops.
Yes, that's a good old family of directors.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. What else did he do?
Will I tell you what it is?
I don't know.
I don't know.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Ah!
So
yeah.
you have 9 and 10 to get. Number 9, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. A dark comedy.
Birdman?
Yeah,
Was it Birdman?
it's Birdman.
Oh.
Oh.
And number 10, I don't know if it's a one from the early 2000s starring Tom Hanks and a group of other guys.
The Lady Killers?
The Lady Killers. There you go.
Tom Hanks. Forgot about that movie, actually. Jeez.
It's a reboot.
Yeah, that's it. I thought you might do better than that, guys, but we'll work on it.
I got most of mine, thank you very much. After
With a
long
lot of
cooking
help.
problem. Less help than Dave, though. Hey, am I right? Am I right?
Yeah. That was pure. Here comes the airplane spoon feeding that. Like.
Oh, no. Okay.
You did great.
Wayne, I hate when you do that to us. Absolutely, I'm gonna get you back for that. Well played. That was great. Suffering sells.
Yeah.
But before we end this episode, because I'm not letting you go any further, is there any recommendations or shout people have that they want to tell the audience here?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Alright, go for it.
So I recently saw the new Smile 2 in cinemas, and I have to recommend it to anyone who watched the first one and liked it. You're gonna love the second one. It's the same concept, the same monster, but it's a new main character. We're put in a whole new world. We were dealing with a psychologist in the first one, very low scale movie. But now we're dealing with a pop star and everything that comes with that, and with this concept and that world colliding, it's only gonna be disastrous. So I would really recommend anyone to go see it and just check it out. It's a wild ride.
Very fair. I'm gonna shout out a very old movie. It's probably like 22, 23 years old now at this stage. It's A Knight's Tale. Recently rewatched it. It was on at work there a while ago. I was like, yes, forgot how good this was. But basically, it's about a kind of peasant a guy called William Thatcher, and his kind of master dies, so he kind of assumes a false identity and enters into kind of knight competition where they do jousting, sword fighting, all that kind of stuff, to better his status, his kind of social status and stuff like that. It's a great comedy starring Heath Ledger. Paul Bettany is in there. Vision, for anybody who doesn't know. It's got what's his name? Alan Tudyk. He's so funny. I find him hilarious in everything he's in. Like, he's just such a funny actor.
He will always be Steve the pirate.
There's a pirate named Steve.
He's had so many brilliant roles though, and he's so underrated.
He was great in Firefly too.
Yeah,
as well, to be fair to him. But A Knight's Tale is my show for this week.
My turn, I suppose. Was it? Yeah. The Wild Robot. That's what I want to recommend. It's really good. I love the animation style. It's kind of like all the backgrounds, like it's like painted, like almost like watery color-ish. Not really. I'm not a painter, so I can't really. But it's a very good story, very good family film as well.
Would it be similar to Miles Morales, Spider-Man?
No. It's not flashy or anything. It just has a very nice style to it. You know when you're watching, remember like Kubo and the Two Strings? When you're watching, you're like, oh, this is just a really nice animation. That's what I'm getting at. But
I thought the same with the Wild Robot. I thought it looked way better than most animations I've seen. It's like really, really brings you into the forest. Like, you know, you're almost there. Like, that's how realistic it looks.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The Wild Robot. It's also a nice, endearing story as well. Yeah, with good messages. So.
Yeah, it's a lovely story. It's probably a version of a story we've seen before, but it told in a brand new, fresh way. And the music behind it might be my favorite score of the year. I think it's an amazing score. It's so good. So
is it originally created score, or is it?
Yeah, original score for this movie.
Yeah. Who did it?
Oh wow,
that's a good question.
That is a good
Who
question.
Did it? Halloween's over. We don't have to play these murder guessing games.
Huge cast in it though for voice actors.
Chris Bowers was the name of the composer.
Chris Bowers.
Yeah.
Cool.
I always love that when you like hear something really cool, or if you're like watching and you think, oh, that's really cool cinematography, and you look it up and it's not the same names. Joe, it's a brand new name.
The same like, four people.
Yeah, Joe, it's like, oh, it's really good music. Oh, it was John Williams or Hans Zimmer. But it's like when it's a new person, like, yes, Joe, the future of cinema is bright. Like,
absolutely.
Also, it's very heavy on kind of supporting voice actors as well. It's not just picking a random actor who can bring a name to the budget. They've picked people who are very talented at what they do. Yeah. Even now, some of them are just regular actors as well, but they've like done so much voice acting. Like Mark Hamill is in it.
And Matt
Bill
Berry
Nighy
as well.
Massive voice actor, Mark Hamill as well.
Yeah, he's fantastic. But you know, they have a strength in voice acting. It's not just a random celebrity taking a spot in the movie that just kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah, they're just used like Awkwafina. Anytime she's in an animated, it's always her same voice.
Yes. Yeah. It's definitely a movie that the minute it starts, you'll switch off.
You won't switch off the movie.
No. You'll get sucked into the movie. Is what I mean.
Oh no.
Yes. That's right. Thank you.
The moment you sit down, you're going to switch it off.
I'm in your head.
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, no. So those are our movie suggestions for this week. Thank you for listening. If you're still listening, if you want to follow us on any of our socials, all the links are down below. We are having a bit of issue with our Spotify as of late. It's not allowing us to upload for some reason. Hopefully we can get that resolved sooner rather than later. But you can still catch us here on YouTube. And our links to our socials are down below. But thanks for listening. And thanks for watching if you're watching. But that is a wrap on episode 27 of Video Village. Bye!
Bye, guys.
Bye.